What is up, everybody? Welcome on into the stream. Welcome on into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, December 31st. The last day of this year, 2024. Can you believe it? I can barely believe it myself. Pretty crazy. Josh can predict the past. Yeah, pretty accurately, actually. It's pretty wild. So, first of all, just want to say apologies on the late start here. We did have a little bit of a scare here with baby number 2. Everything's chill. And it does seem like at this point, guys, that I will not be here on Thursday. Probably not Thursday or Friday. Because I think we are going to have this baby on Thursday. That's what it looks like right now. There was a little bit of a chance that it was going to happen today, actually. So I put into the Discord, it might be today. We might not have a stream. Some things had happened. She just wasn't getting a ton of oxygen. Elisa was at a routine appointment. A little bit of a scare. Everything's chill. But they're not going to let her go past Thursday. So Athena either shows up tomorrow or probably Thursday. So, guys, probably won't be here Thursday, won't be here Friday, but we'll be back at it on Monday. So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. Apologize about going a little bit past our start time here. Now, I spent most of the morning looking back to the very first stream that I did this year in 2024, all the way back to January of this year. And man, it was a pretty wild experience looking back to that stream. A lot of different things going on. I'm going to take you through the whole dealie. I've got like 3 pages of notes here. What I want to do is I want to talk about what was going on then, what the predictions were that I had for how these different things were going to go with Marvel, Star Wars, DC, etc. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I not predict, etc., etc. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. Jonathan, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, baby. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Dr. Cool says you still got 12 hours to write Athena off on your taxes for 2024. Yeah, I think she's gonna make that difficult. She's gonna pop out on Thursday. That's what I think. But yeah. What If was actually too good. Just finished it. Oh yeah, did you like it? Did you like it? Also, before we get into the news today, guys, and we've got, like I said, today is all about looking back at this year. I think it's going to be fun. It's like going through a time-traveling device or something. And we're going to get to relive all of the highs and all of the lows of this past year. Fascinating stuff that's going on. So I have a lot of stuff we're going to go over. But before we get into that, what are you guys doing for New Year's? Does anybody have any cool plans for tonight? Are you going to go watch the ball drop or whatever? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal, man? Philip Hatch says, Josh, if she's born on Thursday, her and I will have the same birthday. It's a good day for champions to be born. 100% Nerd Vengers for life. Hell yeah, Philip. Appreciate you, man. At this point, especially after the little scare today, I just want a healthy baby, ASAP. Healthy baby, ASAP. That's what I'm thinking. So I think we'll get there. I'm going to destroy my liver. I'm going to play Marvel Rivals. Man, Marvel Rivals, super fun game. Infuriating to play ranked. Maybe I'll play some Marvel Rivals later, too. That'd be fun. Gonna drink champagne and watch the Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, that's a take. That is a take. That'll be fun. Going to Lake Tahoe. Really? Okay, that sounds cool. Major Low is having Matt Damon be cast in the same film as Zendaya, Tom Holland, and Anne Hathaway. What? What does that mean, brother? You're going to have to explain that. Elaborate a little bit more. It's already 2025 here in Asia, Josh. You're in Asia? Interesting. How's it going over there? Need Tyler to carry you? He was yelling a lot in his room last night. Yeah, no, maybe we'll get on there. That'd be fun. Are you playing at all, Trev, or is it just your boy? Destroy my children in Mario Kart. Ooh, that sounds fun. By the way, what's up, Twitch? I see you guys over there. Congrats in advance. Thank you, Bronx. Thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Gonna go to Olive Garden and play some D&D. D&D at Olive Garden? That's a choice. Unlimited salad and breadsticks while doing an adventure in D&D? That sounds great. First thoughts is of Jason Momoa as Lobo. I mean, I'm actually really positive on this news. Of course, there was a ton of memes and jokes and, you know, everybody, I don't know, everybody has a take or an opinion. Look, the thing that's weird, of course, is like Momoa's Aquaman stuff was actually really successful. That first movie made like 1.2, 1.3 billion, which a lot of us forget, right? Like that's huge. On top of that, even the second movie was doing pretty well. When I was watching the stream, if you take yourself back to January of this year, Aquaman was actually like doing decent and we were all clowning it. And then all of a sudden it's doing decent. So the most successful DCEU franchise is starring a guy that was actually super pumped to be Lobo. By the way, they didn't hide that shit well at all. Way before Gunn. Remember when Gunn took all the DCEU people into his office and fired them? And then the reaction on social media was like crazy. Before he fired every single one of those people, he basically promised Momoa that he was going to make him Lobo. You know what I mean? So the situation's weird for sure. But here's the thing. That's great casting. He's going to be amazing as Lobo. And Lobo in a cosmic movie with Supergirl? Bro, that's a W. Like, that's great. So I'm excited. First take, let's go. Love to see it. We need a comic-accurate Aquaman. Brother, you don't even need Aquaman. Get that Aquaman out of my face, man. I don't care. I'd rather have Lobo movies. For real. BD knew. He knew about Lobo. Brother, over a year ago, people were talking about a report from over a year ago. That was before that. So it's like, this was a 2-year-old story. Like, everybody knew what was going on. Whoa, what the hell, Rossi? We were watching your Rivals games on Justin's stream last night. You need to do better, Senator. That's not even true. Also, I need more likes on this video. We're at 118 likes right now. I don't want to make the whole stream about me. I don't want to make the whole stream about how I need more likes on the video. But guys, I need more likes on the video. That's what the stream is now about. So please, for the love of God, move the finger, move it over, click the button, and click the like. Okay. Couple more minutes here. What other plans do we have for New Year's? What New Year's resolutions do you guys have? What are you guys doing going into the next year, man? It's 2025. Big changes. What do you guys have going on, man? What's going to be different about next year? Tell me. King Bishop says on Twitch, it's been a great year, Josh. Can't wait to see how things go moving on. You are doing a great job keeping the community together, even though some content is questionable. Nerd Vengers forever, and always a Twitch Venger. Oh, hell yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting that you say that. When I was looking back at the stream at the beginning of this year, like, man, there were some interesting things going on there, for sure. And, you know, part of it was we were just reeling from how crazy and ridiculous and the fall off that a lot of these, companies and studios had done. Yeah. I just want to do better, senators. Okay, there you go. Quitting cigarettes and being a better dad. There you go. I lost 25 pounds this year, going for another 20. Holy! Good for you, brother. Kalen J, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, man. Lose 60 more pounds. Dang! Okay, so we got some people trying to cut some weight and whatnot. That's good. That's good. Where is Senator? Wait, what? Lock in, break down goals into 90-day chunks, become a better animator in Blender after 2 years of learning. Whoa, that sounds like a great plan, man. Chat, let's keep in mind that some of the Nerd Vengers are ladies. Yeah. But also what? Day 2 of driving across the country alone in a moving truck. Wish me luck. Ooh, that can be tough, but good luck to you, man. Maverick Pilgrim, what up, brother? Says, just remember, Nerd Vengers, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. Whatever motivates, make a positive change. I think what Mav is saying is really with regards to like Warhammer. Because I think what he's getting at is like, if you only just cheer on and think about the franchises and Star Wars, you're only going to get what you've always got, which is pain, disappointment. So it's time. It's Warhammer time, baby. It's time that we all get into Warhammer. I'm actually quite surprised that more of you weren't saying that that's what you're going to try to do in 2025. Like what? Nobody's saying like, I'm going to read this many Warhammer books. I'm going to build my army. I'm going to, get really into the lore. I'm going to do, where's all that? Josh, I heard you're jacked now. We need proof. Well, there's no proof. I'm just going to keep saying it. But on that note, this was something that was kind of interesting. When I look back at the stream, a lot of you guys will like laugh at this. And it is funny. But as I was watching the stream, and by the way, some of you guys probably remember this because I had like a crazy reaction to it. But there was a guy in the stream, the first one of the year, that literally told me to go to the doctor because my face was so puffy that they thought my like kidneys or liver was failing. So that's the degree to. And by the way, when I watched the thing, like they're not wrong. Like I was fat as fuck. I can't believe you guys didn't tell me. I can't believe you guys didn't try to shame me into losing more weight. And in all seriousness, I did get in pretty good shape this year. I have lost a lot of fat, built a lot of muscle. I'm feeling really good. Feeling very, very physically good. And I'm also shocked at how terrible I looked at the beginning of the year. It's actually pretty crazy. So, yeah, no, I've had a little bit of a glow up this year, and I'm gonna keep it up. Corey said, "Happy New Year's Eve, Nerd Vengers. Going to be a great year this year. Moving out, going to start school again, and read some more. Starting with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings." What about Warhammer, brother? You know what I mean? Like, don't you know Nerd of the Rings and I are starting a Warhammer podcast? Don't you know the next wave is Warhammer? Don't you know it's all about Warhammer? Holy. Chris says, can't think of anyone else I'd rather be spending the last day of 2024 with than the Nerd Vengers. I hope everyone has a happy and safe New Year. Much love to you and the family. Also check Discord DMs. Okay, brother, I will. And thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here with you guys. I think it's going to be a cool stream, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get into. What's going on? What's going on, Cantina Talks? What's going on? All right, should we get into it, man? Should I take you back 12 months ago? January of the year. Can I take you back? Are you ready? Close your eyes. Allow yourself to be transported back to the time and place and the mindset of January of 2024. At this time, we were just realizing that Jonathan Majors had been officially fired by Marvel Studios. I believe that happened early December, maybe late November. We were having a lot of conversations around that time. Big videos, big streams, a lot of speculation. Echo had just been sold to us as super brutal. We had literally just gotten that very brutal Echo trailer. Came out in late December. We were still waiting and had no date for the last 4 episodes of Invincible. Aquaman 2 was actually out in theaters and doing very well. That's kind of what we were dealing with back then. And I had also made a New Year's resolution. And this is actually important because you got to pay attention to this. What books do I suggest? Hang on. Stop the presses. Kaylin says, can't wait to see Momoa as Lobo. Wonder if any DCEU actors will return. I highly doubt it, brother. But maybe. Griff says, what books do you suggest for 40K? Valdor. Valdor is the best place to start. That's a great place to start. Okay. Now, let's go back. During the first stream of the year, I had mentioned to you guys that my New Year's resolution was to be more chill. I wanted to be more optimistic. I wanted to be more positive. And I said a lot during that stream, new year, new me. And so one of the things you're going to realize as we go through all of these different topics, and I give you my predictions because I made predictions for each and every big nerdy thing that was coming out. You gotta keep in mind that this was me trying to be positive. Okay? I keep throughout the stream putting all of the information out there, saying all the reasons it could go poorly, and then I take like an optimistic turn. So you'll notice that a lot of this shit I got wrong, and if you go back and watch the actual stream, it was literally like, but you know what, guys? It's a new year, new me. I'm gonna choose to be optimistic about this. And holy shit, was I wrong about being optimistic about 2024? 2024 was a goddamn disaster for nerdy entertainment. Okay? If you take away Deadpool 3 and the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, brother, it was like a battle in the trenches. Each and everything letting us down in some way, shape, or form. It's actually kind of amazing as we go through it. You're going to be shocked, okay? So, here's an example of this. One of the first things we talked about in the stream in January was Invincible Season 3 and the last 4 episodes of Invincible Season 2. And I had said that although that season was weird, and it was so weird that they split the season up, I did think the last 4 episodes would deliver and manage to get some of the hype back, which did happen. I don't even remember when it came out, but dude, I'm telling you, in January, we didn't have a date. Okay? And then it came in. We watched it. Decent little ending. Now, the other prediction I made was wild, and I was wrong about this, but not super far off. I said, I also predict that they will get their shit together, and that Invincible Season 3 will air in 2024. Because remember, there was like a 2+ year gap between Season 1 and 2. None of us liked it. All of us thought it was silly. I thought, not only are they going to turn that around, but they'll actually have Season 3 out in 2024. That did not happen. But we do have a date for February 6th of next year. And I do think they're going to come out more rapidly after that. So I was wrong, not completely wrong. They did manage to right the ship. I think things are going to come a lot faster now. The last 4 episodes did get the hype back a little bit, but they didn't actually air the 3rd season in 2024. Okay, so that's just to give you a taste. That was me being super optimistic about it. And yeah, I think Invincible still has a chance. One of the things that I think one of the things they did that's right is they kind of held the L a little bit and they're not going to do that the same way anymore. The season won't have breaks, etc. So I am optimistic about the future. I'm looking forward to Invincible Season 3 in February 6th. We'll try to do some content based around that. Now, the next thing I brought up at the beginning of the year was Dune. Now, this was before Dune 2 had come out. One of the things I brought up in that stream was the fact that Aquaman 2 actually made more money and Venom 2 made more money than the first Dune movie. And if you'll recall, one of my issues with Dune, and one of the things I was talking about was, I just don't know that Dune is going to be able to actually franchise out. The first movie was cool, but it's a weird film. Kind of slow, kind of boring. Only did about 400 worldwide. That could be, pandemic lockdown kind of stuff, but still, it didn't perform as well as they wanted. In January, I said, this is going to be the year that really does decide whether or not Dune will be able to franchise out. I was optimistic about the second movie, but I wasn't sure that it would really catch on. Optimistic about the show, didn't know if it would really catch on. So I actually think I was a little bit wrong because I kind of predicted that it wouldn't be able to franchise out. The second film got all the way up to 714 million.4 worldwide. The Dune show ends up doing well enough to get a second season. I actually like that show a lot. If you haven't seen the Dune show, it's actually pretty decent. So I will say Dune ended up having a better year than I would have predicted. And so I was a little bit wrong about that one. Dune actually is cooking, You'll get a second season. He's already working on the third film. They got this MMO coming. So I'm optimistic about what Dune's going on, or what Dune has going on. I will also say that Dune itself has kind of shown a good formula for what DC might be able to do with Superman. Because even if Superman only makes like 500, 600 million, I think that's enough to build off of. And I think you can build out in an intelligent way with some of the shows and the movies, not like Creature Commandos, but like the live action stuff. And I think it will build that franchise kind of a thing. So, dude, Dune actually had a pretty good year, especially compared to my expectations. That second movie's a masterpiece. And the show was good enough and did well enough to get a second season. So, Dune kind of cooked. Yeah. Next one, I did get right, actually, and that was about The Boys. So, I predicted that The Boys would have its biggest season yet. And I predicted that The Boys itself was really going to franchise out. At the time, Gen V was just wrapping up. I didn't love Gen V, but I know a lot of people did. And I know it wasn't like hurting the brand. It didn't feel like watered down. Gen V did well. Gen V did well enough. I think you're going to get the second season this year. And that they certainly had their biggest season yet. I mean, the numbers on this last season of The Boys was absolutely massive. In my opinion, maybe one of its weaker seasons, but it's still crushed for Amazon. Absolutely crushed for them. So I was right about that one, and The Boys continues to be very, very strong, and that's good. It's good to have these competitors out there in the marketplace, and I'm happy that that was able to be successful. The next one I got pretty freaking wrong, man. Take yourself back to when we're looking forward to the part 2 of Rebel Moon. Oh my God, I know. I thought about not even talking about this, but you know what? We're going to be real. At the time in January of this year, we didn't have part 2. We did not have the director's cuts. Rebel Moon part 1 absolutely disappointed me. But I was still optimistic. And again, remember, it was a new year. It was a new me. And so I went all in and doubled down on Rebel Moon. I thought part 2 was going to be so good, it would bring people back. And I thought the director's cuts would blow us all away. Guys, that didn't happen. They're terrible. They're terrible. And it's maybe one of the biggest L's I've ever held, personally. Rebel Moon. Now, House of the Dragon is kind of interesting. I actually nailed this one We talked about the franchise ability of Game of Thrones. We talked about how the first season of House of the Dragon was fire. But we had some concerns about season 2. Mainly Miguel Sapochnik leaving, the episode count going from 8 to 6. A lot of worry there. So what I said was, I thought the show would dip a bit, but still perform very well, not do any damage to the brand, and we'd still get a big setup for future seasons and other spinoffs. And that's essentially what happened. I think House of the Dragon had this weird thing happen this year where we didn't even realize how bad it was until, like, way after, right? Like, as we were going through it, I think the attitude was like, wow, pretty good, not bad. Oh, okay, pretty good, pretty good. I'm really looking forward to the fights, you know, pretty good, pretty good. I'm looking forward to the fights. It wasn't really until the end of the season where we're like, damn, is that really all Damon did? Like, what the fuck? Like, what was that, you know? So, I think I got that one correct. Nothing of serious value was lost. No real brand damage. But also, the second season was a dip, man. And I'm hoping that that becomes much better moving forward because, man, I don't think they can keep doing that. Like, I have gotten more sour towards that season as time has gone on. You might remember, as it was happening, I was talking about it on streams, and I was like, where's these dragons? Like, a lot of you guys were like, hey, be chill. Hey, be chill, Josh. It's going to be fine. The dragons are coming. This, that, second, and the third. And I was like, bro, what is going on? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then, of course, yeah, they have the crazy dragon fight episode, which was really cool. I think that it ended well. I'm excited to see where it goes. But a little bit of a dip, but nothing too crazy with regards to that. And, yeah, we are going to have a pretty significant wait in between there. So that's kind of like outside of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Those were like the fringe nerdy things. Those were what we thought was going on. I got several wrong there. I got a few right. And yeah, overall, I think a good year for most of those franchises. You know, Dune had a great year. I think Game of Thrones had a great year. I think Invincible is going to have a lot better of a year next year. And I do think they did some pretty good, I don't know, bridging the gap with fans, fixing it a little bit. Rebel Moon is Jover, like literally over. Yeah, so there you go. There you go with all of that stuff. Now let's get into some Sony stuff here. Oh, man. You know, the CEO of Sony recently came out and basically said they have no idea why these movies are failing. They think they're snake bitten. They blame the critics, etc., etc. Well, as it happens, at the beginning of this year, I predicted that Madam Web would do horribly. I said that I was not going to watch it. And I said that I was actually fatigued on Marvel. You know, during this part in the stream earlier this year, I actually started to talk about what if. It's so ironic because in January of this year, I was super fatigued on Marvel. I literally stopped watching What If because it felt like homework. It didn't feel enjoyable. And here we are at the end of the year, and I'm feeling very similarly towards not just What If, but also like Skeleton Kids and just some of the other content that's out. The fatigue is real. And as I predicted, Sony actually kept the fatigue going throughout the year. So one of the things that was so wild is like Marvel Studios decides they're going to take a step back. One movie. Basically three big shows and one movie. And Sony, between Sony and also Folie à Deux and what happened with Joker, basically Sony just didn't allow any serious break. Like a lot of normies and mainstream audiences are fatigued of Marvel even more. What If it's not doing them any favors? I'm still like very frustrated and fatigued with regards to all of that. So when it came to Marvel and Sony, I predicted that Madam Web would bomb. And then I actually predicted that Kraven would do worse. So it's kind of wild because I didn't remember exactly what I said about Kraven. I knew that it wasn't going to do well, but I actually literally said that it would do even worse than Madam Web, which at the time it was a kind of shocking thing to say. It is crazy that I was proven to be correct on that because, as the CEO recently said from Sony, that this is the worst launch of a film they've had in 8 years. It's way worse than what happened with Madam Web, you know? So that's crazy. I did predict that Venom would actually do well, which I was correct about. But at the time, if you remember back to January, we were discussing the idea of a young Peter Parker or Spider-Man like Andrew Garfield or something being rumored for Venom. And there was a lot of those rumors for Madam Web as well. So back in January of this year, there was still a lot of buzz about Spider-Man in some way, shape, or form being in the Sony movies. And I thought for sure, like, if there's a Spider-Man in Venom, it's going to pop off. Like, if Andrew Garfield was really in Venom 3, it would have popped off. But alas, he wasn't in there. But the movie still did pretty well. So I was pretty accurate when it came to Sony. Not only did I accurately call that they were going to actually hurt the comic book movie genre and keep the fatigue going and kind of screw up Kevin's plans to take a break, but I predicted that Madam Web would flop. I predicted that Kraven would flop even harder. And I did predict that Venom 3 would still be a hit, still find an audience, and still do its thing. Now, when it comes to Joker 2, it's another one I got 100% right, man. I said, we talked about a lot of the potential positives for the movie, but ultimately I literally said this movie is not going to make any money. By the way, you guys were shocked at that. A lot of you protested. A lot of you said, but the first movie made $1 billion. A lot of you said you didn't think the first movie was going to do good, etc., etc. You were wrong, and I was right. Joker 2, monumental bomb. Kind of shocking, kind of surprising, but just one of the worst bombs we've ever seen. Completely rejected by the audience. Wild, wild stuff. Now, when it comes to DC and the DCU, I actually got this one wrong, and I'm curious as to what you guys think about this, because my prediction was that Gunn would have some kind of another announcement. He did the whole thing in that one video, and then he had all the press out where they saw the slate. He talked about Gods and Monsters and the first part of it, etc. I predicted in January of this year that Gunn would have another big presentation either at San Diego Comic-Con or some other con, and he would announce more projects and really fill in some of the gaps and get us really hyped up and excited about DC. And the opposite has kind of happened, where not only did they not do that, they've actually walked back on a lot of the projects they initially announced. Now, he sort of tried to quietly walk back on them. He said, like, we're not going to move forward unless we have a script, et cetera, et cetera. As many other people have pointed out, why'd you announce it then? Why'd you get people hyped up for it? What's going on with the Batman 2, et cetera? It is a tumultuous time right now, I think, for the hype of the DCEU. I think Superman has obviously moved the needle, and people are excited about that movie in the trailer. But as far as what is actually going on with the DCU, a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. And I think fans are a little bit frustrated. So I'm kind of surprised that Gunn didn't refine the plan and make more announcements. But I think that actually just points to the fact that this is hard. This was harder than maybe they anticipated. And it's not all going well. I mean, even Superman itself is not really going well, right? They're making changes, trying to adjust it, etc. So, weird, right? Like, And I was really trying to be charitable. But here's the thing. Here's what I want to ask you guys. Maybe this is okay. Like maybe it's smart for Gunn and DC to not try to do what Marvel is doing at all and just like slowly announce projects. Like, what do you guys think of that? Right? Because like when it comes to Marvel, like we want to get hyped up. We want the big presentation. We want to know about the future. Maybe it's correct for Gunn to not try to do that and just make these things and then slowly announce them. No crazy announcements. Like, what do you guys make of that? I guess what I'm asking is, like, as far as the DCEU is concerned, do you think the lack of an announcement and a presentation, do you think that's an L or do you think it's a W? Because I could actually see both, right? Like, I could see both scenarios. What do you guys make of it? Vora says, hey, mate, Happy New Year to you and your family. Thanks for all that you do for this community. Even though you hate us Brits, we still love you. Much love. I don't hate the Brits. The Brits as people are cool. It's just like their country, culture, history, you know, attitude, food, hygiene. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you know, try to be, like, the people are great, like, as a human and all that, right? So there's a couple of people that are saying W, some people saying L. But yeah, I think this is the point here. CuzCon says, don't create false hope. I agree with that. And I think given where they are at, it was probably a smart move to actually just not go there and not try to announce stuff, not try to get stuff going on, you know? I think he should have dropped Superman trailer at an event with fans instead of an exclusive event for the top people. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But that trailer did still pop off, you know. It was a successful launch of the trailer. You kind of can't deny that. Only talk about the casting for slated movies. Stop talking about projects that will be developed for 5 years. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think it's smart for DC to stay in the shadows a little. They don't have the hype anymore like Marvel does. Let their projects speak for themselves. That's fair. Like I said, kind of counter-programming. You know, probably good move. That's a smart move considering the position they are currently in, says Fearsome Halo. Yeah, you're probably right. Mav says the only reason Marvel could ever announce 6 or 7 or more feature projects is the success of Phase 1 and the Avengers. DC has no such capital. That's fair. Yep, I think that's fair. 50 million views is great. Absolutely. You can't deny that. That is a nice chunk of views. There's definitely attention for Superman. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So kind of wild. Like, I was wrong about this. Originally, when I made this prediction, I was trying to be charitable. And yeah, that it didn't end up happening. And yet I still think it's probably good. You know what I mean? I still think it's probably good. But you know, now let's shift into Marvel a little bit. Let's talk about some of the predictions I had. Then I want to just kind of go over the highs and lows of the year overall, and we can get into Q&A as well, right? So at this time, man, when we were in January, like it's kind of hard to put yourself back into this mindset. But remember, I had been really railing against Marvel for continuing to release all of these mid projects. And Phase 4, you know, and the beginning of Phase 5 was full of projects that, like, we didn't hear great things about. And then the Marvel machine was spending extra time and extra money trying to polish these things. So, like, for instance, with the Marvels itself, they did so many reshoots on that movie that Nia DaCosta just left and went to shoot her other film. And you can choose to believe that that's totally normal and that Nia had this other obligation. It's not so uncommon. Or you can choose to believe that, like, that's pretty fucking crazy. But either way, it just shows that, like, bro, they were spending so much money, time, energy trying to make that thing better when in all reality, I just don't think it was ever going to work, right? Same thing with Quantumania. Same thing with a lot of the shows. I was really, really frustrated at the time. So at the time in January, when talking about Echo, man, I was really negative about it. Like, you could go back and I said that the trailer was cool. The Daredevil shit's probably going to be cool, but I expect it to be terrible. I expect it to be absolutely terrible, and I expect us to walk away really, really frustrated. One of the things I did say was, like, maybe they somehow have found a way to make it a lot better. And at that time, we knew it was 5 episodes, which is crazy. Like, you don't do a 5-episode show. This was a show that was sort of hacked together. The first episode has about 40 minutes of footage from the Hawkeye show, right? I actually think it works, but it's like wild. Because if you think about it, they really only had 4 episodes. One of them was the finale, and it was absolutely terrible, right? So to put yourself back in the mind state of like where we were at in early January, I was like, damn, dude, 2023 was rough. I feel like 2024 is about to be worse. Now, the thing that's interesting about Echo was like it did actually impress me, and I enjoyed it right up until the finale. And I will actually make the case that Marvel fans are going to go into 2025 with a lot more optimism than we entered 2024 with. Okay? So I just, the feeling of chat, the way I was projecting and talking about this earlier this year, man, we were down. We were down bad, man. Like, we were down bad. And Echo was decent enough to, like, get me in a different mind state going forward. But that's kind of my prediction with Echo. I feel like it's hard to say. Like, I still feel like I was right. Like, they should have canceled Echo. They did cut Echo out of the Daredevil show, which is a whole different thing. But at the same time, Echo was good enough, I think, that fans are feeling a little bit better moving past it. It's like a hard one to say. I want to say I was right, but it did actually surprise me with it being a little bit better. X-Men 97, man. Oh, X-Men 97. Guys, I was so worried at the beginning of this year. And I mean, how could you not be with everything that was going on? I went into this whole diatribe about how I don't really care about the Marvels. I don't really care about Echo. I don't really care about Quantumania. All of these things. I didn't even really care about Secret Invasion. Like, they're terrible, but it's like, whatever. You know what I mean? But when it came to X-Men 97, I made the point then that if they screwed up X-Men 97, it would do crazy amounts of brand damage. X-Men 97 and the X-Men animated show was not just some Marvel show. It was like a gateway drug into being a bigger nerd. It was really, really important, man. And I was worried, brother. Holy, I was so worried. What an absolute treat that it was as good as it could be. Maybe one of the most high quality things Marvel Studios has ever produced. Writing on a level that shocked me. How intricate, how detailed, how much it played off of other parts. Like, singular episodes had open and closed loops that were just so satisfying. Brilliant writing, brilliant pacing, so much fun. Animation quality on another level. Truly better than anything else we saw in any of the Marvel animated shows. It was a real lift to the fandom right when we needed it. Huge W, man. Huge W. So, X-Men 97, man. We all basically agreed, like, we were so worried about it. We were so worried about it. And yeah, so that felt incredible. It was a really really good way to lift the spirits of the community, and get us excited again. It was pretty incredible. But before it came out, the other thing that was wild when I was watching the stream, we didn't know shit about it, man. Like, we did not have leaks. We did not have a lot of reports. We barely saw some of the designs and animation from a leaked Comic-Con trailer. A lot of questions. We were like, bro, we were worried about the animation. We were worried about the writing. We were worried across the board. And for X-Men 97 to do what it did, damn, it was great. Maybe one of the best things that happened this year, to be honest. Oh, man, I feel like watching all 10 episodes again. It's real good. Deadpool 3. I nailed this one. And it's not even hard to do. I think the hype on Deadpool 3 was real even in January of this year. But, man, a lot of us were really excited. We thought it was going to be the thing that would revitalize the brand. Thought it was going to be a smash hit. I think for me, the thing that was kind of surprising about it, though, was like that team of variants that he meets up with and has fun with on the Void. It's different. It's not as maybe hyped as I thought it would be. I would have wanted maybe some other X-Men. I had thought maybe we were going to get Cyclops, Storm, Magneto, etc., right? And yet, it just worked. They nailed it. People went crazy for Blade. Channing Tatum's Gambit was like a surprise hit. X-23 was like the heart of the film. Big deal. And then to use San Diego Comic-Con like that, what an interesting strategy for Marvel Studios. There were people, pundits and, reporters, there were people suggesting that Marvel was doing itself a disservice by having Comic-Con the same week that the movie opened. That there would be a bunch of people at Comic-Con that weren't going to make it out to go see the movie. Ended up being the opposite of that, and now we're all talking about how they used San Diego Comic-Con to bolster the buzz for the film. They had a screening for fans in Hall H Thursday night. Went nuts. A lot of spoilers came out because they brought the whole cast out. But it seemed to just build more and more buzz. It seemed to really propel the movie and make Comic-Con kind of more special. So, absolutely massive dub, man. Massive dub. Big freaking deal for Marvel and something that we did get correct. So, thank God. Thank God that they got it done there, okay? Next, we got to talk about Agatha. Man, I was wrong about Agatha. Man, I was wrong about Agatha. I was so negative on Agatha, man. I was talking so much shit about Agatha. Man, I dragged this show in January. I basically said I had heard so many bad things that I wasn't even going to watch it. I was treating it like Star Wars content. You know what I mean? I was so mad. I said it was going to be horrible. They were doing this stupid thing, like the whole Billy in another dude's body and all that. I was like, this is whack, this is whack, this is whack. Also, there were big rumors that Agatha was going to end, and then they were going to do a Scarlet Witch like holiday special thing. That wasn't true either, so we were wrong on that. Man, Agatha is some of the best written stuff in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, particularly that episode 7. It's layered, it's complex, a lot of great character stuff, incredible performances. Agatha's actually pretty decent, man. Like, it's kind of wild how good Agatha was. Yesterday we were talking about Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood streamer Spider-Man, right? And what if? And I've said that, it's a new year, it's a new me starting tomorrow. And I'm trying to be a lot more positive and optimistic. Does it feel like deja vu? Does it feel like we're doing this again? So with that in mind, one of the things I said yesterday when talking about all the projects that are coming out in 2025, and there's frankly way too many of them, 9 MCU projects next year. 9. Right? Way too many. But what I said was, to be fair, if they can all do the Echo Agatha thing, really more Agatha than Echo, and if they can be a little bit more good than we thought, if they can surprise us, if they can actually get us to be like, you know what, that actually wasn't that bad. If we have a year where the majority of these projects leave us feeling like that, we will be primed for 2026. I still think, despite this year being pretty rough, I think Marvel fans are going into 2025 way more optimistic than we went into 2024. I don't think I can say that for Star Wars. I damn sure can't say that for Rebel Moon, or whatnot. But when it comes to Marvel, I can absolutely say that. Agatha is the blueprint for why I'm going to give a lot of these other shows a chance. And I think Jack Schaefer and a lot of the people that were involved in that show, they deserve more work. They deserve more praise. I truly had that one wrong. Good for Agatha, good for Marvel, good for everybody. Pretty surprising show. Okay. Let's talk about Star Wars. Let's talk about Star Wars. Can you say that for Warhammer? Oh, dude, hell yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? Warhammer? I'm so excited about Warhammer. Let's go, baby. Should we just make it a Warhammer stream now? Is it a Warhammer stream now? Let's talk about Star Wars. Man, oh man, oh man. You want to know something that really broke my heart going back to the stream in January? In January of this year, we thought the second season of Tales of the Jedi was A, going to actually be Tales of the Jedi, and B, was going to be actually good. Holy shit. Tales of the Empire? A bunch of bullshit? Oh, I hated it. Oh, I hated Tales of the Empire. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. Really disappointed. Bad Batch Season 3 was actually something I predicted to about the way it went. Bad Batch Season 3 was pretty good, man. Great ending. Really, really good writing. Like, Bad Batch doesn't blow up. Like, it's not, like, doing crazy numbers. It's not, I think, satisfying a lot of the Star Wars fans. But damn, dude, Bad Batch is some of the best Star Wars we've had during this whole debacle. Season 3 was really cool. Great moments. Really cool ending. And I can't believe that I'm actually, like, excited to see where Echo, or not Echo, what's the girl's name again? What's her gosh dang name there? Omega. Yeah. I'm actually excited to see where Omega could end up next in the canon. So I thought Bad Batch 3 was going to be a dub. It was a dub. So that's cool. Man, oh man, the conversation in January about Acolyte was really interesting. The point I made in January was a lot of the leaks actually sounded cool for Acolyte. A lot of the stuff that was apparently going to be in it seemed cool. To me, I was more excited about Acolyte than I was for Andor. Andor didn't have really like lightsabers or Star Wars stuff. This was all about Jedi, right? The point I made in January was the problem with Acolyte was that whenever somebody that worked on the show opened their mouth, they said the most goddamn ridiculous shit ever. I believe what I said was the best hope for Acolyte is that the words that are coming out of these people's mouths have nothing to do with the actual show. Maybe they can't help themselves. Maybe they're nervous in public. I don't know, man. Maybe they're just deranged. But the best hope was that the show was actually going to be lit and that everything they're saying it does not represent the content of the show. And I actually predicted that Acolyte would be great, that we would all be shocked, and we would love it and support it. Oh my God, was I wrong? Once you see episode 3, you realize, oh, that's why they were saying all that shit. Oh, okay, that's why they're saying all this shit. And then it just gets worse. My God, Acolyte. Honestly, man, I kind of can't even fucking believe that really happened. Like, can you guys actually believe that they dead ass made a Star Wars show, try to give it as big of a platform as possible, try to push it in everybody's face, and it literally tried to change canon, devalue Anakin, make the Jedi out to be bad guys? They actually did that shit. They actually did it. They actually tried it. And then a portion of the fandom that literally only has followers because they twirl lightsabers in mini skirts had the audacity to glaze the show and try to make out Manny as this piece of beefcake that was somehow, it was perfectly okay for them to be excited and sexualize that dude. And yet they called us bigots and horrible for doing the same thing to other female Star Wars characters for years. Acolyte was a train wreck. Like an absolute train wreck. I think it did such serious damage to the brand that even the show right now, Skeleton Kids, which I think is goobly glob, but a lot of people seem to enjoy. There ain't nobody watching that show, man. Nobody's watching Skeleton Kids. You know why? Probably Acolyte. Probably Acolyte. Dead ass. Acolyte. Why is the show that many people are saying like, oh, well, at least it's decent, or it's like, it's actually kind of fun. Like, this actually feels good. Why is that show doing so poorly? Acolyte. That's what you get. What you deserve. So, man, was I wrong? And also, I don't know why I was trying to be so fucking optimistic, man. Like, I was like, it's a new year, it's a new me. I'm going to actually support Acolyte. I think it's going to be really good. Leslie Headland, there's no way she actually tried to co-opt this Brandon franchise and try to change the lore and devalue the Chosen One and make the Jedi out to be bad and whammon are better and all these fucking things. I thought there's no goddamn way they're going to do that. Not only did they do that, they also said, you're going to get 6 Rey movies. Shut the fuck up, basically. I mean, you tell me. You liked the first 2 episodes? I did like the first 2 episodes. It wasn't until episode 3 that it all started to fall apart for me. Let me ask you a question. Because, you know, we'll talk briefly about Skeleton Kids and some of the announcements made for the 16 Rey movies. But let me ask you guys, man, like, y'all excited as Star Wars fans? Like, Star Wars fans, how are you feeling, man? Like, how y'all feeling out there, Star Wars fans? Y'all feel real good? Real optimistic? Real excited? How do you think 2024 went? We having a good time? Yeah, man. Yeah. It's pretty rough out there, man. Star Wars is, and I didn't see the video, but I actually would imagine, I believe Theory just made a video. Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I didn't watch the video, but I could kind of put the pieces together. Did Theory talk about how he had attempted to do, like, just straight Star Wars content and it got no views and then he had to go back to basically like farming? Pretty sure, which is ironic because I was having a conversation with a different YouTuber that actually brought up Theory's views in a conversation where they're like, I'm not even posting about this shit anymore. I want to do Warhammer stuff with you. Right? So, like, brother, we all know what's going on. Goddamn sky's falling over there. It's if I was, and I am a Warhammer fan. What do I mean if I was? I am a Warhammer fan. And it is terrifying to think of Warhammer being treated the same way as Disney has treated Star Wars. Like, holy, man. Holy. Now, to be fair, Skeleton Kids is a little bit more competently made than the other shows, and it seems to be getting decent enough reactions from the people that are watching it. Which in some ways, I guess, is a dub, right? Like, yeah, that's a dub. It's a dub. But the Star Wars brand overall, I would say, has had an absolutely terrible 2024. I don't think there's any way around it. I think Acolyte has done serious damage. You have even more movies getting announced and then delayed, and then they're not happening, and it's just like it's your usually regularly scheduled shit show over there, man. It is a total shit show over there. So, man, I was wrong about Acolyte. That was a goddamn disaster. It's just like shocking, man. Like it's legitimately shocking. You had Bad Batch season 3, which was decent. Tales of the Empire, terrible. Acolyte, brand breakingly bad. Skeleton Kids, decent, not moving the needle. We'll know more when we get the Nielsen numbers, but according to Luminate, like it is getting terrible viewership. Terrible viewership. And then on top of all that, you get all the announcements of this Rey movie, that Rey movie, all the Rey movies, man. All the Rey movies. There's only like two little positive things going on. I do think Andor Season 2 could be much better. Which, by the way, chat, remind me, when does Andor Season 2 come out? It's fairly early in the year, right? So that could be good. I also think... Look, maybe Mando Grogu surprises me. Maybe Ahsoka Season 2 is great, and maybe Dave's movie is really, really good. But James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi film, to me, like, that seems really positive. And until I hear some bad things about it, I'm going to be optimistic about that. But at this point, I really think Star Wars would benefit from, like, a 5-year total blackout break. No books, no comics, no movies, no nothing. 5 years. Go away completely. Build the next saga. And just put it all into that. That is what I think Star Wars needs. Like, I think Star Wars needs a total blackout break. You need to let people miss it a little bit. And also you need to let people forget about all the bullshit that has happened over the past couple of years. Yeah. Like, this is rough, brother. Like, this is rough. I'm also really confused. Like, we live in a world where Marvel has lost 3 major executives this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some serious consequences happening at Marvel Studios. What is happening at Lucasfilm? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening over there? What? Whew. Okay. So that's your 2024, man. That's all the things I got right, all the things I got wrong. I'm gonna be real, guys. I can't believe we fucking made it through this year. I am personally, and I would love to know where you guys are at. We're gonna break into Q&A. I do want to talk, of course, about Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, San Diego Comic-Con, because that was huge. That was massive. Crazy. Sets up a whole, like, catalog of videos and speculation, right? But, I kind of can't believe we got through this year. I think 2024 was the worst year for nerdy content that we have had in almost 10 years. I think we saw the most disappointing projects. I think we had the most bad news. I think we had the most controversy. I think this was like this is the last goddamn day. Okay? Let's get the fuck out of this year. You know what I mean? Like, this was terrible, guys. This was terrible. It was a terrible year. Think about all the things we just talked about. Sony pulled an Amber Heard and took a shit in our bed. Joker 2 basically said, fuck you, Joker fans. Star Wars. It's almost too sad to even say. Marvel tried to pass off a 5-episode series. But they did impress with X-Men 97. Deadpool 3 was huge. The announcements at San Diego Comic-Con were legendary. And Agatha was way better than we thought. Yes, What If is a stinker. Oh, yeah, Penguin. Sure. Penguin. Let's talk about Penguin. I mean, let's be fair. That was a good show for a lot of DC fans. A lot of DC fans really like Penguin. And so that is a positive. Like, you can't spin that any other way. Positive for DC fans. It did not do massive numbers in the way that a lot of you think it did, but it was still a big W for the DC fandom overall, you know? I would even argue Superman and Lois was a big W for DC. Unfortunately, it was canceled. But that's good. DC is on somewhat shaky ground. The buzz about the Superman film is really good. Gunn and team very intelligently dropped the Lobo news to sort of cover up the reality of the bad screening. And the screening being bad is not the end of the world. They can fix that film. Superman is probably still going to be really good, right? So DC kind of somehow navigates into an interesting spot. Marvel navigates into an interesting spot. Game of Thrones still has a lot of potential. Dune has a lot of potential. Invincible has a lot of potential. The Boys has a lot of potential. I don't think the 5th season comes out this year, but I do think the 2nd season of Gen V comes out. The Boys is going to continue to do well. The Boys, by the way, will end its main show, and then it will continue to have shows. I think The Boys is here to stay unless things go terribly, right? But Sony, terrible year, kind of trying to keep Marvel down. Star Wars, absolutely terrible year. When will the pain end? A lot of pain this year, man. Lot of pain this year. So can you believe that we made it out of this year? Like, I'll be totally real with you guys. Between 2024 and 2023, these have been, without a doubt, the most difficult years in my career. The Boys Mexico is still a thing too. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know too much about that. That's another spinoff. That seems cool. These have been the most 2 difficult years of my entire career. 2023 was full of so many L's. My God. 2024 was full of so many L's. My God. I am incredibly optimistic about 2025. I'm really optimistic about 2026 and 2027. It's going to be my year in 2027. I'm telling you, baby. If the rumors are true that we get Secret Wars at the beginning of the year and then a new X-Men franchise launching at the end of the year, I think we'll get substantive leaks and rumors with regards to Warhammer by that time too. Unity will be to print and out, hopefully way before 2027. Like, you know, sometime next year we're gonna get it out. But maybe multiple volumes out by 2027. Maybe a Netflix development deal or some shit like that. Unity going, blowing up. Let's fucking go. Maybe Star Wars will finally not have goddamn Kathleen Kennedy out there anymore. Maybe they'll actually have some positive projects and things will be hyped up, and then we're going to actually go and do some cool stuff when it comes to Star Wars again. That would be great. Sony literally lost all the money. They can't make their bullshit movies anymore. They're going to have to put Spider-Man back into them. Let's go. The worst is over now. The worst is over now. I'm so excited for the future, baby. I think do yourself a little bit. Give yourself a round of applause. Pat yourself on the back. If you've been here throughout this entire past couple of years, then you've walked through the goddamn shadow of the valley of death with your boy. It's been so rough, and it's finally over. It is finally over. We're not out of the woods yet. The worst is over. I'm not saying it's all, you know, sunshine and rainbows from here, but the worst is over. I'm telling you. And tomorrow on stream, the first stream of the year of 2025. It's a new year. It's a new me. And we're going to look forward to all of the projects in 2025. I'm going to make my predictions for each and every one of them. It's time to get hyped. It's time to get excited. 2025, baby. Looking ahead, a golden age for us nerds. I can't wait, man. Woo! I can't wait. Okay, we're going to get into Q&A and just chill for a little bit, and you are feeling good? Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I feel great. What are you talking about? Of course, I feel great. I can't take another year like 2024, though. I'll burn all my comics. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen. 2024 is going to be lit. I thought you were going to be chill next year. I am going to be chill. What are you talking about? I'm chilling. I'm chilling. First stream subathon? No. Good one. No. Because Thursday we're going to go, we're going to get this baby out Thursday. So I'll probably won't be here Thursday or Friday, guys. Okay? Can we all agree you can be more toxic again? That's up to you guys. You know, that's up to you guys. Cap 4, Wonder Man, and Ironheart, says Rossi. God damn it, Rossi! God damn it, it's a new year and it's a new me. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about all those projects, and I'm going to explain how those projects could actually be good. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Now, that's all of the topics. That's all the things we predicted. And also, guys, it was a rough year. Okay? It's been a rough couple of years. And one of the reasons you can tell that it's been a rough couple of years is that earlier this year, I tried to quit YouTube. How many of you guys remember that? Put a 1 into the chat. Do you remember that? Oh, man, those were a great couple of weeks. I quit the day the eclipse happened. And I was just going to stream. And I was going to turn the main Den of Nerds channel into Eclipse channel. And for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, I felt like an incredible weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I felt like I had a new life. Things were going to be so much better. I was going to be so peaceful, and it was just great. And then we found out we were pregnant, and we were going to have another baby. And I thought to myself, well, God damn it. Diapers are pretty expensive. Formula's pretty expensive. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And so then basically we 180'd, came back to YouTube after losing thousands of subscribers and people being super pissed that I quit. And we started to rebuild that shit. And over the course of the next couple of months, we were able to build it back. And I was able to actually get some really cool opportunities. You know, I'm happy that I now have a manager. I now have an agent. A lot of growth, a lot of interesting things coming in 2025. I'm approaching next year and the year following with a lot of focus, a lot of attention, and with help from people and professionals. And so I'm really excited. But it's been weird, right? Super weird year to go from like, I want to just write comics forever. And then realizing that, like, yeah, that's not a thing, you know. If you want your kids to have clothes and stuff, you should probably do something other than write comics, right? So that was weird. I also tried a lot of interesting things this year, as far as we had the Coca-Cola stream, we had a subathon, we had a couple marathon streams. We had a lot of conversations with Rob, had other people on the pod too. Starting a new podcast and a venture with Matt from Nerd of the Rings. I'm really excited about that. Bringing on some more editors, doing meetings with people, trying to get the brand in a better, sharper place. It's been kind of interesting to go from the worst 2 years of my career, being so burnt out that I wanted to quit, finding out that we're having a second kid, having to make some really hard decisions, and then building it all the way back up and getting to a place where things at the end of the year here are pretty positive. So it's been a wild year, guys. It really has. When you look back at everything that happened, a couple controversies here and there, some wild ass streams, some really good times. I thought the stream for San Diego Comic-Con was really special. Dr. Doom, man, that was crazy. We did like a week of Doom streams after that. That was great. So I just want to ultimately say thank you for sticking with me, not just this year, but throughout the last couple of years. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for putting up with my ass. And thank you for calling me out, keeping me honest about things. Community and YouTube is really interesting. It's really good. To get that immediate feedback on things is fascinating. It can be overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes you guys are annoying as shit. But often you're exactly what is needed to not only keep me honest and keep me on my toes, but to keep the environment here friendly, fun, and engaging. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you for being here. And onward and upward. I truly think we are past the worst of it. I think the next couple of years are going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to doing more events, getting out there to see you guys more. I'm looking forward to getting Unity out there. I'm looking forward to renting out some theaters for the next two Avengers movies. We might do Doomsday and Secret Wars now. Something I want to think about. A lot of cool stuff coming, man. A lot of cool stuff coming. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. W's in chat, man, for you guys, on this, the last day of the year. I think it's okay to recognize you guys just a little bit. Don't get a big head about it. W's in chat for the chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. So let's break on into the Q&A. Let's go over a lot of these super chats, member chats, etc. I'll hang out in the chat a little bit as well, and then we're going to get on out of here. Again, tomorrow, we look ahead to 2025. We're going to break down all the projects, kind of like we did at the beginning of last year, this year, which will become last year. We're going to look ahead at everything. I'll give you some bold predictions. And we'll have some cool conversations tomorrow as well. Okay. All right. Let's get into some of this here. Hollywood in general is currently making mediocre generic hero films we didn't even ask for, or horrible quality films with CGI, says Logan. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Hollywood is going through a bit of a rough patch right now creatively. Although, even looking ahead to some of the things next year, I do think they're sort of addressing these issues. Some of the big movies seem really fun and cool and interesting, and they're being given like proper time, attention, and development. So sometimes these things happen. Like, you know, Hollywood's a town of copycats. They try to mimic things. If they find a formula, they beat it until it is dead. But sometimes we get into these spaces throughout Hollywood where things get very stale and dry, and then new creative stuff pops up, and new takes and new creators and all sorts of stuff. So I feel like we're in a transitional period in entertainment in general, but there's some really fun stuff coming. I'm excited for a lot of it. LJ Steven says, yo, love the content, bro. Quick question. Is that an Xbox controller behind you? It is. It is that. And I play Marvel Rivals on PC with a controller. And I lose in ranked. Kaylin says, Star Wars fans are never happy. You can't even enjoy Jedi's dueling. I mean, you might be right. But here's the thing. That's maybe an appropriate judgment for another fan to have about the group of fans. But if you're the studio, if you're the people that like are supposed to be the adults in the room, you got to figure that shit out. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? You want to judge your audience and give them something that they don't want? Or do you want to understand your audience and understand that they're really the boss? Right? So I totally get you, though. The Sink Lord says, yes, the patriarchy. Yeah, that was fantastic marketing. Mav says, Cavill is the literal, the Warhammer gatekeeper. I think he would kill his own project if it needed to be save the franchise from the death of Disneying. Yeah, I agree. Games Workshop as a company has always been pretty strict and protective of their lore. That's why they have never really been in bed with Hollywood, right? On top of that, Henry Cavill has a history and sort of a track record of being annoying on set or for executives or writers because he cares about the lore so much. So like the Witcher situation, the Superman situation. He has a lot of, he just understands the source material. He's a big nerd, man. He's a big old nerd. And he wants it to be authentic. And so I think between Games Workshop and their attitude and Henry's attitude, I think we have a very good chance for the Warhammer universe to be very pure. Very pure. Which I am excited about. Rossi says, Star Wars was my shit. I can't believe I'm so cold going into the Mando movie. I barely care about it. It's such a bad sign for the brand. I know, brother. I feel the same way. It's very difficult for me to get excited about the Mando Grogu movie, especially when you had such a whack third season, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just, we've fallen off so far. It's challenging. I never really thought we would get here, but this is where we are, man. This is where we are. So hopefully some good things can happen and can turn it around. But like, brother, it's bad. Cyber Coastal says, bro, this year could have been a shit show. Well, I think it was a shit show, but thanks to you all and, partially me too, we were able to get through it, man. We had some laughs, we had some fun, and we made it through. You know what I mean? I think X-Men 97 was a great gift. Really helped get the community. Like, you remember how excited we were, man? X-Men 97 was the perfect love letter. And, despite everything that happened with Bo and, the continued kind of strangeness of that whole situation, I will always give props to that man because through hell or high water, he delivered something truly special. And that season, it meant something to me. You know what I mean? So, like, I'll always appreciate Bo for the work he did and he put in. Right when we needed it, he delivered something powerful, elevated, nostalgic. It hit all the right notes, man. So, yeah, that was really good. I think Deadpool was obviously a great gift. San Diego Comic-Con really turned the narrative. Man, without that stuff, think about how bad the year would have been, though. Woo! Pretty tough. Hey, Nerd of the Rings, good to see you, brother. Cantina Talk says, I could be just wishing here, but 2025 feels different. Hoping it to be the case. Definitely got a short straw this year. Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, but I really do think 2025 will be much better. Hard to say with Star Wars exactly. Andor Season 2, if it pops, that'd be great. Ahsoka Season 2 films next year, so maybe we'll get some leaks and some rumors about that. Possibility of Star Wars Japan announcing some cool stuff. Maybe they'll have updates about the Mangold film for that or something. Maybe we get a little trailer for Mando Grogu. Like, there's potential here, man. But really, I think Marvel's going to be much stronger next year. I think Sony's done fucking around. I think a lot of the other superhero genres are really, really going to dig in. On top of that, you get like Stranger Things. Maybe you get more Fallout. More Invincible. So we are cooking next year, 100%, 100%. Star Wars, but we'll see. Carl says, Merry New Year. Star Wars is back. New you in 2025. Posting shilling is back. Nerd Avengers for life. Aqualobe is dope. Man, you got a lot out of that super chat, brother. Appreciate you, Carl. Carl's been riding strong with the Nerd Avengers for years. And I really appreciate it, man. I know I haven't always been super chill. So thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. Mav says, you think too many streaming services hurt 2024? No, not really. I think maybe too much streaming content. But I don't know if the streaming services itself has to do with that. I mean, I suppose the streaming wars maybe elevated some of the stakes and stuff there. But like Apple TV stuff is great. Dark Matter was like incredible. And even Max has good stuff like House of the Dragon, et cetera, et cetera. So like, I don't know. I don't really draw the same conclusion. It might hurt our wallets a little bit more, but yeah, we'll see. Raji says Cap 4 Hey, don't say that. Cantina Talk says, as soon as I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Yeah, man. He's talking about Warhammer, probably, huh? But Duncan says $2 to cover a paid week off for Athena. Thanks, man. I'll probably just take a couple of days. Probably Thursday, Friday. I won't be here. But that $2 that's one instant ramen thing. So thank you. Rossi says, Star Wars Sith thinks Cap 4 will be better than the Thunderbolts. Please flame him and his ignorance. I'm not going to flame him. I mean, look, it's possible. That's not quite what the buzz behind the scenes is saying, but you never know. I mean, the buzz, like we talked about with the Superman thing, right? It's challenging because who are these people that thought the screening was bad? Do they represent the main audience? Do they represent an executive? Do they represent a business-minded person? Do they even like comics, right? It's hard to say. The Cap 4 thing is a little bit different because we tend to know what the groups of people that do these screenings for Marvel are, and they do mostly represent more of the casual audience. So it's a little rough that there has been so much bad buzz for Cap 4. But they are continuing to try to fix it. I think the Russos, although this hasn't been exactly reported, I think the Russos are involved in trying to tighten up that film and make it better. Red Hulk looks incredible. Maybe Sam can tone down the you got to do better Senator thing. Maybe Red Hulk can smash a bunch of shit. Maybe Giancarlo's going to say some badass stoic shit and shoot some people and stuff. Stand by for confirmation of death or whatever, right? We shall see. Frostradamus says 4 motherfucking years, baby. Love the channel and community. And thank you for all that you do, Josh. 2025 will be an amazing year for us Nerd Avengers. I agree. I really appreciate the support, brother. 4 years is crazy. And again, you've been here through maybe 2 of the best and maybe 2 of the worst. So we split the difference, and hopefully we're moving forward, right? Appreciate you, man. Brandon says with a 20 spot, that is very generous, man. Thank you. Says, praying for Athena and fam. Early congratulations and enjoy the sweet time with an infant. I have 4 kids and those first few weeks are so precious. Nerd Ventures for life. Unite. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting her. I want to hold her. Want to make sure she's okay. I'm also really looking forward to Elisa getting a break, man. Like, holy shit. Carrying around that big old baby, that's tough, and it just gets more and more tough the longer it goes on. She needs a break. We all want to meet Athena, and yeah, so thank you. Thank you for the thoughts, man. It's very nice. Rossi says with a 10 spot, appreciate you, brother, says, just wanted to say you and the community have gotten me through so many rough times this year. Aw, thanks, man. The weekly streams have been clutch. The Discord is awesome. This is a fucking family show. And as much love, Nerd Vengers for life. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, I think in a lot of ways the community is stronger than ever. I know we've had like ups and downs and things like that, but truly, the community is strong. I think we have one of the coolest Discords ever. I love being active on that Discord. I love looking at all the crazy shit you guys post. I think it's really fun. Like, we have a really fun community. I think people love being a Nerd Venger, which, like, to me is like, that's the coolest thing, right? And something I really want to focus on in the next couple of years too, is I want people to be proud of being a Nerd Venger. And I think part of that comes from, how do I represent the community on the platform, et cetera, et cetera. I think the Nerd Vengers actually do have a pretty good rep for being wicked smart, enjoying things, but also being critical. You know, this isn't a community of people that's going to be toxically positive. And if you don't like something, we're not going to give you shit for it or whatever, right? So the balance is there. It's really cool. I'm proud to lead you insofar as that's what I'm doing. It's really just more like representing. And I'm glad that people are excited to be a Nerd Venger. You know, it's cool. And it also makes you more physically fit, more financially well off, more well endowed. It's like, it's crazy. Look, results may vary, and you know, you could consult your doctor, but you know, the truth is, it's probably the best decision you can make for your fucking life. You know, becoming a Nerd Venger. Do it today. C-Dub, I got a great new job in 2024, so it wasn't all bad. Before then, it was a bit rough, but this community kept my spirits going. Happy New Year. And congrats on the new baby Venger. C-Dub, I appreciate you. Congrats on the new job. Perfect opportunity to buy a bunch of Warhammer moving into the next year. Caleb says, are you and Matt going to have a beginner segment on the Warhammer pod? I want to get into it, but I don't know where to start. Thank you, nerds, for this year. Nerd Vengers for life. Yeah, I think, and Matt and I have to try to meet soon. This whole Athena situation has kind of thrown us off a little bit because we thought maybe she was going to come over the weekend. We thought she was going to come on Christmas. We thought she might come today. So it's been a little touch and go. But I think one of the things that's going to be great about that podcast is, you know, we're both not experts on Warhammer. I'm more of an expert on Marvel and comic books. Matt is an expert on Tolkien, the books, the shows, you know, all that. The movies. So we are really taking our experience as covering other franchises in mass media at this unique time for Warhammer as it transitions from the obscure into hopefully the mainstream. Part of what we want to do with the podcast is go through that journey with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm arguably a little bit more hardcore than Matt, a little bit ahead of him on some of the stuff. But we're going to all get more into Warhammer together. And that's part of the pod that's going to be fun. And we both like reading. So we're going to read some stuff together. You know, a little bit of like a book club thing where we go over some stories and then we do a dedicated podcast to that book or short story or whatever. I'm excited to see Matt actually grow his army, and then, dude, if we could actually play together at some point next year, that would be crazy. That would be so fun. Or maybe we get together and do some painting. We have all kinds of ideas. Like, we've been talking a lot about different things we could do. So, you know, you say, is it going to be friendly for normies or whatever? I think that's the whole podcast, essentially. Like, that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a beginner's podcast in a lot of ways, you know? JJ Lamont, thanks for the 10 spot, brother. Says, here's a little diaper money. Love this space and y'all. Hashtag unity. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Rossi says, I really just wanted you to flame Star Wars Sith. I get it, brother. I get it. Andrea says, Happy New Year to all of us. I appreciate all of you more than words can say. Here's the 2025 Baby Athena, Unity, Fantastic Four, and more. See y'all at MegaCon. Yeah, I'm going to try to make it to MegaCon. I'm not making any definitive plans yet, mostly because I'm just hyper focused on like, let's get this baby here, make sure everything's good. Then we can plan. But I am going to try to get out to MegaCon. I know a lot of you guys are going. I'd love to meet up with Theory. I'd love to meet up with Wave. I'd love to meet up with y'all. I think it would be a really fun time. So I'm kind of trying to plan for it. I'll know more once we get this baby up. Thank you, Andreas. That's nice, man. Stuart Wilson, $20 haul. Appreciate it, brother. Says, your heartfelt message about setting your dreams aside for family hit home. Appreciate you and Happy New Year's. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad that the message was received. I'm glad that I think a lot of you guys get it. You know, and I was even talking to my dad about it today, right? Because, like, my dad, and, you know, it's just a dad thing. But, like, my dad wishes I was a little happier and a little less busy. You know, he brought up that the other day I think it was when we watched Venom, that, you know, I went, saw Venom. He was here watching Liam, and I came back, and I, like, barely talked to him because I was like, I got to go write my notes, and I got to go make this video. And he was like, oh, man, like, that's no way to live. And, like, you know, he just wants me to be happy. And the YouTube grind is, like, it's kind of wild, and not a lot of people get it. Trust me, like, it's very rewarding, but it's, like, really fucking hard, man. And it takes a lot of your time. And I was just talking to him about it. And look, the reality is it's hard for everybody. And, you know, we have to make these decisions. At the end of the day, though, you know, personal sacrifice and working hard so that your family is well provided for. I mean, I feel like that's just 101 of, like, dad and husband. Like, you know what I mean? And I know we live in a world where not every person lives that traditional lifestyle. You know, sometimes the wife or the female can be the breadwinner. Sometimes, you know, everybody has different dynamics for their relationship, how they build their family and their home, etc., right? But for me, like, we have more of a traditional thing. I want to make sure that not only is everybody fine, but I want to make sure that, like, we have enough to give Elisa extra help. Dude, being a full-time mom is tough, man. Like the kids, especially with a kid like Liam, they're just always on the move. It's very tough. It's very challenging. So it's not just as, like, I want to make sure we have enough. I want to make sure that we have enough to provide proper care and help for her, you know, so that she can get, like, a nanny or a daycare situation or, you know, something like that. So, yeah, it is what it is. And I think when you are responsible for more than yourself, you cannot just think of what you want, you know? Maybe someday I'm just writing comics and writing movies or whatever, and maybe there's somebody else doing these streams and videos. Maybe the Den of Nerds gets sold. Maybe I have AI Josh handling it all. You know, you never know. But for now, we grind. You know what I mean? Tim O'Brien says, wanted to show you some love, Josh. It's almost the new year. These streams, and the Nerd Vengers definitely helped me through times this year. Much love. Nerd Vengers for life, Ranch Vengers for life, and Community. Appreciate you, brother. My dad was also asking me about the ranch. He was like, why the hell do you have so much ranch? I had to explain the memes. Delta Dan, thanks for gifting a membership. Scott says, I stopped watching for a bit after my interest in Marvel and Star Wars fell off, but Dr. Doom brought me back to the channel. Love the channel. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, I think the Doom thing was huge, and a lot of people clown on it, but I think it was huge. I think it was the right move James Gunn also thinks it was brilliant, by the way. James Gunn, everybody's favorite. You guys fucking love James Gunn. Yeah, even he thinks the RDJ thing was smart. Duh. Saved my whole goddamn career. Goddamn RDJ Dr. Doom shit. So anyway, good things are coming. Appreciate you, Scott. Alex says, unrelated, who do you think plays who in Nolan's Odyssey? Oh, brother, I apologize. I'm not going to give you a good answer here. I have no idea. I'm not even aware of who's in it. Rather, I think Holland is in it and Zendaya is in it. That's literally all I know. And also, I don't know shit about the Odyssey. And also, take it one step further. You know how fucking snooty everybody got about the Odyssey? Everybody got so fucking snooty about the Odyssey and came down so hard on Soups. Brother, fuck the Odyssey. I don't give a shit about the Odyssey. You know what I mean? All these people want to act like it's this super important elevated piece of fiction that we all... Brother, you probably couldn't even pass a test about the Odyssey. I'm off the Odyssey. All these snooty people on social media have made me not care about the Odyssey. Okay? Maybe I'm just doing that Josh thing and being a butthole about it. Maybe I'll come around. I literally don't care. Fuck the Odyssey. Sorry, that's probably not the answer you wanted, but that's how I feel. Toxic Nerd says, I'll be at MegaCon with Theory. I hope you go. It would be great to see you again, man. It would be great to see you again. I appreciate the support. Kalisto said with a 5 spot, hey, Josh, sorry to bug you about this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on my super chat. Oh, I missed it? Oh, I thought I was good here. Sorry. Oh, okay, so I missed a couple here. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see here. Jared says, my fiance and I have a little one coming in 2025. Can't wait for a little nerd venture. Hell yeah, man. Happy New Year's Eve nerd venture is going to be a great one this year. Moving out, going to start school, and going to read more, starting with Warhammer. Brilliant. And then let's get to Callisto's here. Did you forget about X-Men 97? Nah, brother, we got it. We got it. Hey, Zach, appreciate you. Where's Callisto's here? Is this shit not showing up? Wow, some of these just didn't show up. Okay, let me refresh. Let me try to find it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. This did not pop up for some reason. Callisto with a $20 holla. Very generous. With Space Marine 2 and Secret Level episode and now the Cavill project, do you think we're looking at Warhammer becoming more mainstream this coming year? Yes. I have a video right now. Let's check. Let's check where it's at. Let's check where it's at. Y'all ever hear about this channel called Warhammer Explained? Guys, 589,000 views, almost up to 600K. A video I made a year ago. It blew up after Space Marine 2. Literally did probably 10K views in like almost a full year. Space Marine 2 came out, blew up. The video is almost to 600K within the past couple of months. Okay? Warhammer, people are very interested. I think what's happening is certain pieces of media like Space Marine 2 and like your Secret Level and the Cavill news, they are piquing people's interest. Then they go online and they realize, holy shit, the lore is the most dense, deep thing I've ever seen in my life. And people are getting lost down the rabbit hole. So, yeah, Warhammer is primed. Like, I feel like, and it was sort of whimsical. You know, I told Matt, I was like, dude, if the Cavill thing gets confirmed, let's do a podcast together. That was I just kind of randomly said that. And I'm really busy. He's really busy too. But I just kind of said that. I'd always wanted to work with Matt. I have a lot of respect for him. And then that happened, and now we're off to the races. I definitely think Warhammer's about to take off. Like, I think it's the next big wave. I think there's a lot of reasons why. But maybe most important, there's so much substance to it that this, like, everybody complains about the EU and how Lucasfilm disregarded the EU. That's fair. The amount of Warhammer novels dwarfs the amount of Star Wars novels. The main Horus Heresy, just that story, I'm pretty sure it's over 300 novels just to tell that complete and total story. The main series of that story is 64 novels long. Like, it's the depth of this lore is crazy. And that's a scientific term. Crazy. Okay. Kalisto, thank you so much for that message. I'm sure the chat was really excited to hear. C. Fisher says, Happy New Year's Nerd Venture. We're going deep in 2025. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Rossi says, I hope to start planning MegaCon for the next week. I've been sick and went to urgent care yesterday. I hope you're okay. Plus, with the holidays, it's been hard to plan. Star Wars Sith has given me some great ideas. Yeah, we'll talk soon, brother. Hope you're doing okay, man. Urgent care. That's scary. That's scary. I thought we were going to have a scare this morning, actually, but I think we're all good. Riley says, I'm back. Happy New Year's, you nerds. Josh, last week's Skeleton Kids was the best yet. Much love. Hope the fam had a great holiday. Well, maybe I'll catch up, and maybe I'll watch the new one tonight. We'll see. We shall see. Josh, a new 30-second Cap 4 clip was released. YouTube channel. Is it lit or like what? Like, is it lit though? Or like what? When is the stream where we read the Odyssey? I don't give a shit about the Odyssey. Did anyone else feel the same way? Am I completely on an island here? Where I watch all these people try to make this point where they're like, it's not so much that someone doesn't know about the Odyssey. It's the fact that the people that are leading the pop culture conversation now don't have a background in literature. And I'm just like, brother, shut the fuck up. You sound like the most lame-ass motherfucker I've ever heard of in my life. I bet you're real chill at parties. Oh, guess what? If that's what it is, why don't you go out and do something about it? Why don't you go out there and make the Odyssey cool? Because that's what Nolan's about to do. I don't think any of that conversation does anything constructive at all. Like, and look, are some of these things and some of these people just safe spaces for brands? For sure, man. But like, come on. It's just as pedantic and weird to get all in a hissy fit because a kid that blew up on TikTok doesn't know about the Odyssey. Who gives a shit? I don't know. That one was like, I was like, yo, y'all are wrong. You're wrong. You're just plainly wrong. Oh, and by the way, some of these people are going to be able to do more for the literacy than you'd ever be able to do by just being shitty about it on Twitter. Get that out of my face. Baldy One Kenobi, appreciate the 20 spot, man. That's very generous. Says, thanks for an awesome years, Josh. I've fallen back from Star Wars and Marvel a fair amount, but you always keep it interesting and fun/funny. I'm not into Warhammer, but you're wearing me down on it. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's kill 2025 like we're Luigi. Okay, all right, we're going to wrap it up there. That's enough of all this. Appreciate you, though. Wearing them down. Hey, chat, do you feel worn down about Warhammer yet? Yeah, look, I'm not trying to get all crazy about this thing. I just thought the reaction was so performative. Like, come on, man. You know? Like, we're all so mad that this kid doesn't know about the Odyssey. Really? Really? Missed mine and Tim's supers? Okay, let me try to find him. Locationary. Wishing you happy this year. Unity. Appreciate you. Mikkel says, this year was a wild ride for sure, but when things around me changed, the tower was a constant. Took a break recently from the streams. Happy to be back. Thanks for curating such a great community. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you. If the Disaster Artist came out this year, it would have been fitting. That's true, actually. John says, celebrating 4 years. Hell yeah, love you all. Best wishes. Thank you, man. Michael Phantom says, Warhammer MCU, as you call it, is the new Rebel Moon. What? Love the channel and hope 2025 is a great year. Appreciate you, man. Where's Tim's, though? Brother, I don't see Tim's chat in here, man. Tim O'Brien, probably, huh? Tim O'Brien! Wanted to show you love, Josh. And Stuart. Appreciate you, man. Oh, we already went over that one. Wanted to show you some love, Josh, in this almost new year. You, the streams, and the Nerd Vengers definitely helped me through some tough times this year. Oh, I did read this. Appreciate you, Tim. Appreciate you. Watch the clip of Cap 4. Okay, let me look this up here. It's just hard for me to get excited about Cap 4 when nobody knows what the Odyssey is. You know, what does this world come to? It's so sad and depressing that people don't know about the Odyssey. You know, like, what are we, like, can I even enjoy this trailer without the Odyssey?
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not. Come and get me!
I mean, it looks cool, but, like, where's the rest of the frame here? You know, these TikTok kids, they ruin everything. Now we're looking at stuff in verticals. Can you imagine them trying to explain the Odyssey in a vertical format like this? What happened to a big old widescreen? You know what I mean? Jeez. Goddamn TikTokers ruin everything. I hope it gets banned. Aaliyah says, hugs for Elisa and children. Appreciate you. Cheers for an awesome 2025, Josh. Goodwill, love to all Nerd Vengers. Hope you saw my answer to your post for ideas. And we'll answer it via a video. I will take a look. I will take a look at that. Appreciate you as always, Aaliyah. Very supportive. Thank you. Jerry Comic says, watch the clip of Cap 4. Red Hulk looks lit. He does look lit, but does he know about the Odyssey, though? You know? I hope Sam Wilson, the first thing he does when he comes into the meeting is just be like, you know, Mr. President, we've had our differences in the past. What do you know about the Odyssey? Pop quiz. And if he doesn't know shit about the Odyssey, impeached. Vandolph the Black. Appreciate you with the 20 spot, man. Says the Warhammer franchise will radically change the science fiction genre and take over the mainstream conversation. However, I will fight these grifters when they come for it because I've always loved the lore. They can't wait. Yeah, unfortunately, the grifters suck, but that's another thing. Matt and I are going to keep that. We're gonna keep it real chill, real positive, and real nuanced on some of these ideas and conversations. And I hope to be somewhat of a light in the dark when it comes to like the grifting and the fake news and all that stuff. So appreciate you, Vandal. Appreciate you. Aaliyah with 10 gifted memberships. That's absolutely incredible, Aaliyah. Thank you so much. You know, Aaliyah, you have such a sunny disposition. You're always trying to be optimistic. Incredibly supportive of myself and the community. You know? All of these incredible things, you know, going for you. But what do you know about the Odyssey? Because if you don't know shit about the Odyssey, I don't know if I can actually celebrate any of this stuff that you're doing, you know? Do you see what I mean? These snooty people, man. No, the Odyssey. Anyway. Much love, man. YouTube clip, not TikTok. Oh, okay. Brave New World trailer on Marvel's YouTube after title clip. Oh my goodness. All right. Everybody really wants me to do this, huh? All right. An hour ago. Look at this sick 30-second clip here. All right, let's check this shit out, man.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that or you don't want to. Who you think they talk about? Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
Whoa.
I'm not.
Who you think they talk about? Talk about us.
Stand by for proof of death.
Stand by for proof of death. Yo, Red Hulk looks lit.
Come and get me!
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that'll be cool. Hopefully that's real good.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that or you don't want to.
Who you think they talk about?
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
Whoa.
Who you think they talk about? Talk about us.
Stand by for proof of death.
Stand by for proof of death.
You want me? Come and get me!
Look at that, man. That jump at the end there. That's just like Marvel Rivals. Hulk missing. Looks cool, though. Yeah, that's pretty chill. Pretty chill. All right, everybody. We're going to get on out of here. Any last-minute thoughts, man? This is the last time I'll see you guys live until next year, you know? So, what do you guys think? And any other thoughts? Any comments? Any, you know, here, I'll put this up for you. I'm going to put this up on Instagram, too, later. Any last-minute thoughts of this year, 2024, before we get out of here, man? What are you guys thinking? What are you thinking? Josh's last stream. I know, right? Isn't it crazy? You the man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Does much more than Drake for the Marvel. God damn it, Vandal. I knew you'd go there. I mean, you're not wrong. New Year's stream tomorrow. What's the plan? Yeah, so not only are we going to have a New Year's stream tomorrow, we're also going to have the first Nerd Venger stream of the year, where I will outline the new plan for 2025 for the Nerd Vengers streams. It's going to be a good day tomorrow. Hell yeah. Another year of Nerd Vengeance down. Much love. Appreciate you. Thanks for streaming Rivals last night, Josh. You're welcome. You know, it was challenging, and I actually did rage quit because it was a bunch of bullshit, but appreciate you. Thank you. What time? Tomorrow night, 7:30. Tomorrow morning at 11. We'll have a regular stream at 11, and then we'll go at 7:30. Thanks for noticing me. We will all love Warhammer if you love Ranch. Oof. Oof. That's tough. What's the Odyssey? I have no idea. Never heard of her. Appreciate you, though, Lady Bona. You missed Zach's super chat? All right, let me check. Try to find Zach's super chat. And then I'm going to get on out of here. I did not miss Zach's super chat. I actually think I've read it twice. Because now I'm remembering that I read it twice. I started 2024 with the Nerd Vengers. And I'm ending 2024 with the Nerd Vengers. I wouldn't have it any other way. Happy New Year to everyone, Josh. Congrats on Athena, brother! Nerd Vengers for life. Okay, you're right. I missed that one. But, appreciate it. Trev says, you should take off 2 weeks from streaming, dude. Be with your family after tomorrow. Hope everything goes great in the next few days. Congrats, Papa Time 2. Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the concern. You know, look, it's just one of those things, man. That's not really a YouTube thing. So the reason that, like, most of us are, like, all of the YouTubers are, like, fucking miserable is because if you did just take a straight 2-week break off, your channel would be hurt. Like, unfortunately, the way that this thing works is, like, you gotta keep it going. The machine needs to be fed. But, Trev, if you send me a lot of money, I'll consider it. You know what I mean? You let me know. You know what I mean? What you can do. I mean, Austin already gave me way cooler comics than you have, and I still appreciate all the support. But Austin is my favorite now. You know, so Trev, you got to figure something out. You got to either get into Warhammer, you got to send me some signed copies, 9.8s of something crazy, you know, or you know, cash, check, debit. You know, there's all sorts of options. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you guys. In all seriousness, I really do appreciate it. And thank you for all the love this year. I think we're going to have a big year next year. And so I'm excited for that. I appreciate you all. I'm going to get on out of here. Probably no stream Thursday. Probably no stream Friday. Should be back at it on Monday. I will keep you guys updated. If you're curious about Baby Athena, I'll be talking about it probably on either Twitter or Instagram or in the Discord. So maybe some of you guys will get to meet her soon too. And other than that, guys, I look forward to tomorrow's stream. And I look forward to getting back at it next week. So appreciate you. Thank you so much. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. I do actually have to go get a haircut, so I'll see you guys later. So yeah, see you later. I gotta get my haircut. All right, Chris, and thank you, Badunk Duncan. Let's go. Let's play it out right. Oh, the fucking Odyssey. I can't believe people don't know about the Odyssey. This is the Eagles song, but were there eagles in the Odyssey? What's it gonna take to get the Odyssey trending on TikTok? Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Knowing your Warhammer lore is way more important than knowing about the Odyssey, okay? Let's not get it twisted. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. Yeah, man. Well, for one last time in 2024, I'd have to say it was a happy landing. I'd have to say we got it done. Thank you all again. Appreciate you. And one more time, I'm going to ask you to open up your third eye and wash out that place where you should put all of your snootiness about the Odyssey, and that's your butthole. I'm telling you, shove it up your ass, man. Nobody gives a shit about the fucking Odyssey. It's only Homer that matters.